Blessed. And I hail brothers and sisters, gods and the goddesses, empress, and emperors. And I had to hit this topic because and I did a cipher and we built on that everything is in cosmic, everything has a cosmic truth, and that our genetical structure has a genetical memory. And I built on the subject that the Word was made God and the Word was made flesh. This physical body is the Word of God. That even when you are not conscious, in a sense, that this Word of God, you will hear the Word of God speaking. And when it speaks, many people will tell you that things we do, we don't know that that's the Word of God speaking. I'm not going to go into all of the science. I'm just going to drop a little jewel because, you know, I have a thing called the awakening thug. And I deal with the fact that the thug awakens, but I say that the thug is the true, hidden, universal God. T, true, H, hidden, U, universal, God. So the thug is the true, hidden, universal God. That the thugs in the streets is the fire of judgment for taking away the truth out of our life. That I tell the brothers that they're supposed to rebel. In this time, they were supposed to rebel. They weren't supposed to go to college. They weren't supposed to be going to school. They're supposed to rebel against the system. That was their reality. Their reality, they was not supposed to accept the system so that their consciousness would be free. Even though they rebelled in a lower nature, in a sense, but their consciousness would be free to allow them never to be bound to the system a certain way. Now, some people can't stand that because they just want it European Christianized, the good and righteous brothers. But that one that you see in the streets for real, his genetical nature, the Word of God placed him into a psychic that he was supposed to rebel. He knew he was supposed to rebel. He didn't know what for. That sister that you see in the strip club, even though she's doing it in a lower nature, she's rebelling against the system. She's not afraid. She's willing to sacrifice her physical nature to define something. To not be a slave. Even though we say, yeah, they still being slaves in a way. Even though the brothers are slave to the game, slave to the money. Yeah, we understand that. Because the enemy was wise. He knew about your genetical nature better than you. He knew that your genetical nature, based on the cosmic reality, would cause you to rebel. So he had to create a rebellion type of reality. So he created the so-called the so-called reality of what is a drug dealer. He perpetuated in his movies. He perpetuated the sister that's willing to go all out on the limb. So he perpetuated the script in the thing. But these sisters and brothers really is a reality of a conscious rebel that's not afraid to die. You know, a lot of women be like, oh my God, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't live with myself. See, they're not trying to live with the illusion of self. They don't even care no more. We already dead. Might well go all the way out. That's how they are. But in the topic, I also have to drop this, you know, and don't get me wrong. I'm not telling everybody to go out hit the streets and be hustlers and stuff like this. I'm telling you to understand the psyche. Understand the psyche of what's going on. That's the only way you can help. You can't help change nothing if you don't understand the psyche, because you're not here to put them down. You're not here to, that's why people say only God could judge me, because it's not about judging, it's about justification. It's about teaching them what is the reality and what is their state of sickness. Why you do the things you do. That's how you perpetuate change. That's how you bring the youth on. You explain to them their reality. See, because if you can't answer the questions, then you ain't the answer. I like the brother Khalif Scientific. He put the thing out. The brothers got the thing on Facebook. Be the answer. How you gonna be the answer if you don't have no answers? You just got criticism. See, you want to perpetuate the knowledge, but you can't fluctuate. You can't move. You can't even see within the veils of the reality that's before you. See, because the real God can remove the veils of Aset, the veils of Isis. See, Isis represents the feminine principle. which is nature. Open the box of Asar and see. Not to lose course, and I'm just be brief on this one. In the cosmic truth, what was the hustler? What was the hustler? What was the drug dealer? What was that hustler in your neighborhood? Who is he? Let's say if we deal in reincarnation. Let's reincarnation. Let's deal in resurrections and stuff. Whatever you want to use. Let's deal in this reality. What is the hustler? Who is he? Because we always say, well, we didn't sell our people into slavery. Africans, indigenous, black people did not sell their people into slavery. Well, that's a question. I agree with that answer. So these brothers, if you say he's selling drugs or crack or whatever in the neighborhood, heroin, and he's perpetuating another brother or sister into slavery, what's going on? Who is he? Who is she? I'm going to give you one key here. When an enemy attacks a people, if you look at the United States, and let's look at the art of war. When an enemy attacks a people, his first attack is not a physical attack. The first attack by the enemy, if you look at the United States, is what's called, they put embargoes, trade embargoes. They starve the people out. Economical sanctions. Black people, indigenous people have been under economical sanctions and trade embargoes for so long that we think it's the way of life. But if you watch these countries under guerrilla warfare, what goes on when they are put under economical sanctions and trade embargoes are put on them to stop them, what do? They become what? What do they become? What happens in the country? Smugglers. They become smugglers, underground runners, to perpetuate an economical way to sustain their people. Even though people say, well, that's illegal, they should, Iraq or whatever, these countries shouldn't do this. They are doing what is necessary to sustain their people. In America, trade embargoes, economical sanctions have been put on the indigenous black African people in this country for so long, and then that was the reality of the game came out of. But yeah, Hoover and them took over the game. The Kennedys sell what? Alcohol. We have many black people that perpetuated and created shot houses, numbers, and they started doing moonshine runs. What? They weren't just out there to kill their people. They were trying to beat the economical sanctions that was put on their people. So this became a mentality, a psyche, that somebody had to put their life on the line to break the economical sanctions. Because even in the arts of war out there in them countries like Iraq and Iran, the smuggler, if he get caught by the United States, the CIA or the Navy SEALs out there, they're going to kill them. And they're going to put them in prison. So originally the hustler was a person who was out there psychologically. He knew he was supposed to do what? Aid and assist. Fight the economical sanctions. But yet we lost sight of the goal. Because then when we got the perpetuated paper or the money, we started manifesting the illusions of the enemy. Because we forgot we was on the battlefield. Because the thought of really how this started and what was going on, we had lost sight of it because we did not educate and properly educate our people. We did not bring them up into the rites of passage for them to understand what we was doing. And then it just became a fad to have images and clothes, and maybe if you got money, then the enemy would accept you. If you bought a big house like him and drove a car like him, you would be considered somebody. So we lost sight. But originally it wasn't like that. You know, if there's some criticism on this, I accept it. But I'm just dropping a jewel of psychic reality. Don't criticize, be the answer, understand the answer, know why it went why the way it went, and explain to the brothers and sisters what happened How did they get trapped in there? And then you can help them manifest their way out. But if you don't have the answer, that's why I like what Dr. Sebi said. Philosophy ain't nothing. We got to deal with the truth. And what's going on right now. So one of the brothers on Facebook had asked the question, if brothers and sisters started to ask to get out the game, could you have anything for them? No, because you ain't found no way to break the economical sanctions. Learn what's going on. Just a thought for the day. So don't hate the brothers that's doing time. Understand their mind. Understand the sisters' minds. Rebels for the cause. Well, they should have been. But they had no knowledge of self. Let's bring the knowledge of self back. And you'll save your people.